Today I want to show you another part of Sittingbourne and Sheppey. We're here in Upchurch, which is situated in the extreme northwest of the constituency. Now, Upchurch is typical of many of our local communities that face the challenges of providing homes and employment whilst balancing the quality of life of its residents. And invariably, that challenge raises questions about the fairness of a planning system that simply doesn't work, in my view. And here at Upchurch Golf Club, we can see how a business that is sympathetic to the rural community can give a boost to the local economy. But let me take you a couple of hundred yards down the road and I'll show you the reverse of the same coin. Okay. Now, this is Four Gun Field, and across there you can see another business that has been operating here in Upchurch. It's a concrete crushing and waste disposal plant. And although the original planning permission was given for brickworks, that's its current use. And quite frankly, it is not suitable for a rural environment. This is why local residents have been fighting for over 6 years to have the operation stopped. Now, earlier this year, the government planning inspector ruled in favour of the residents. However, the operators of the site are now appealing against that decision. Now, Four Gun Field highlights the inadequacies of a planning system which simply doesn't consider sufficiently the views of local people. Because if it had, permission would never have been given in the first place for storing of bricks in this very rural location. So at Four Gun Field we saw the perverse nature of the planning regulations. I want to show you an example here of another side of that perverse, and that is that this is a small garden centre and restaurant who have put up the pavilion behind you and a bit of decking over there as an extension to their restaurant. But they did it without planning permission. And they have subsequently put in a retrospective planning application which has been refused, and so now they're faced with having to demolish all of this construction work. Now, I make no comment about the rights and wrongs of the case, and I make no comment about the decision of Swale Borough Council to ask them to demolish it, but I want to show you somewhere else. Well, we've just walked from the restaurant which is over there, and across the field there behind me you can see another development which shows up the unfairness of the planning system, because that over there is an unauthorised gypsy site and it was developed without planning permission. Eventually a retrospective planning application was put in and temporary planning permission was granted, but that has now lapsed. So why is the park still occupied? Well, let me read you the explanation that local residents got from Swale Borough Council. And once again, I make no comment about either the application or the use, but what Swale Borough Council said is the following: the temporary planning permission for this site has expired. Well, you know that. Swale Borough Council's Planning Committee has resolved not to take enforcement action regarding this site until such time as the site has been appraised under the Council's Gypsy and Travellers policy. The entrance walls of the site are now the subject of a valid and effective enforcement notice. However, Given the situation regarding the use of the wider site, it is very unlikely, in my view, that the council would seek prosecution regarding the continued presence of the walls, at least until the appraisal process has been concluded. And what that means, in our language, is that Swalborough Council are not going to take any enforcement action against that site, but are likely to take enforcement action against the site over there. Now, in Upchurch, there are 3 unauthorised gypsy sites like that, and villagers here are not alone in facing the problems that that entails. The problem is widespread across the borough. Now, I'm a great believer in equality, but I believe that travellers have as much right as anybody else to live in our country. They have as much right as we do to build where they want to build, as long as they have the same responsibilities that go with those rights. And the responsibility, if they want to buy some land and want to either park caravans or build on that land, they should have to follow exactly the same planning permission as settled people, exactly the same planning permission that the restaurant has to go by. And if they don't, like the restaurant, they should have enforcement action taken against them, and that should be pursued. It shouldn't make any difference whatsoever. And that is the perverse nature of the planning laws. It's not fair, and we have to change it. And I very much hope that I will be campaigning to do so.